Welcome to this initial thought replay on the Spähpanzer SP1C. This is the new Tier 7 German light tank. It replaces the Spähpanzer, and all in all, while it is a pretty average light tank, it's got some strong points and it's got a lot of underwhelming points. I did point most of these out in the forum feedback thread on the 9.9 update already, but unfortunately they weren't incorporated or listened to, which is a little bit annoying. So the good thing about this tank is that it's got a 90mm autoloader, which is good for a light tank, definitely. But it doesn't get to mount vertical stabilizers, and it has a pretty long aim time of something like 2.5 seconds or something, which is just too long for a light tank, especially if it can't mount vertical stabilizers. So for the next update, the aim time should be brought down to 2.1 seconds or maybe even 2.0 seconds. That's one of the things. The other one is that the in-clip reload of the shots is currently 3 seconds, which is too long. Again, this should be brought down to around 2 seconds to make it competitive with the other Tier 7 light tank autoloaders. And the final thing is the mobility. Now, I was driving downhill earlier, so it sped up quite fast, but this tank literally accelerates like a medium tank. It's way too slow for a light tank. Now historically this light tank had a more powerful engine and it was actually lighter than it is. Both in the game it's more heavy and it doesn't actually have the horsepower it should have. So that's probably one of the reasons why it accelerates as a medium tank, and there is no reason for it to have this lousy acceleration. I can understand why they made this light tank so average in many respects, because they were probably fearing another Bulldog problem where that thing was basically quite OP when it was first released. So now they were careful with the new light tank, but in the process they made it so average that there's nothing special about it anymore. There's other light tanks with autoloaders, there's other light tanks with faster autoloaders, there's other light tanks that drive faster. It's all pretty underwhelming, unfortunately. Originally I had high hopes for this vehicle. One of the good things though about it, I must say, is 10 degrees of gun depression. That is very welcome on a German light tank. I think the Spähpanzer had that as well, but it somehow didn't feel like it. And here you can see the acceleration in action. It's a lot like a T-44 actually for some reason. And the pretty slow top speed of 58 kilometers per hour as well makes it a bit annoying as a light tank, especially if you want to dodge enemy fire, because they have a fairly good chance of hitting you. Not these enemies because they can't shoot, but in general in normal matches. And other than that, I mean, it's sort of entertaining once you play this tank or once you get the hang of it. Here's some lousy shooting on my part, but one thing though, it seems that the accuracy on the move is actually quite good on this tank for some reason, which is weird because the accuracy when you just stop and try to hit an enemy is really crap. So yeah, interesting fact. And here, this is funny. Guy doesn't look at the minimap and drowns himself. So yeah, IS-3 thought he was going to win, and now he's enjoying the view of the fishes. So yeah. That was a funny point in this replay, and here I'm calling him an idiot. It's not really nice, but then again, how can you be so dumb to not look at your surroundings and just drive backwards into water? I mean, how long has this map been in the game now? So, spotting the enemy artillery and putting shots into them. I get spotted, the enemy artillery misses me, and I return fire and ding on the artillery. That's one of the other advantages this thing has over the Spähpanzer, is that it finally has good penetration for a tier 7 light tank. Because the Spähpanzer had 157, while pretty much every all other tier 7 light tank apart from the French one had about 175 or 180 penetration, which is the penetration they should have to make them competitive, especially since they have fairly low alpha, so that needs to be compensated with good penetration. Otherwise you have a gun that does no damage and can't penetrate either. So at least it's slightly better for handling IS-3s, which I mean, you can't kill them from full health unless they're complete idiots, but at least you can put shots into them and track them and or damage them. So that's an advantage. And here we are going to dispatch this LTTB because he's keeping IS-3 back. Put a shot in and move again, because I'm expecting any of the enemies to just fire a shot at me. I'm on 26 health, so not really a challenge to kill, but none of them do, so we're trying to get a shot on this IS-3. Yeah, so all in all, for the next patch, Wargaming needs to bring down the aim time of the autoloader, especially. The reload of the clip should be brought down from 20 to 16 seconds, and the in-clip reload per shot should be brought down to 2 seconds from 3 seconds. Either give this tank its historical engine and weight, or buff the ground resistance value so that it actually accelerates like a light tank and not a medium tank. And other than that, yeah, this vehicle has real potential if it gets fixed. So here I nearly get killed by a friendly IS-3 who isn't paying attention. Luckily for me, he was not going fast enough to actually damage me on that ram, but that could have well cost me my tank, which would have been a little bit annoying. And here we are just trying to see if we can get a shot on the Panther. I need to be a little bit careful because I haven't got much health left, and he gets taken out. So now we're going for the Panther 88, and we run into this little bit of scenery. I didn't see that. As well, I'm going to cut the replay short towards the end, because for some reason this replay file is corrupted and it crashes my World of Tanks and messes up my recording. So yeah, we've got 2 shots, so let's see if we can put them in the Panther. And while the aiming or the shooting on the move is pretty accurate, shooting one static isn't. So 1 shot, and I hope you liked the replay. Rate it, subscribe to the channel, and see you next time.